Very warm welcome back to Sugo in Japan. We've got one more race coming to you from the International Racing Circuit here in the Miyagi Prefecture, and that is the 1000cc Superbikes. And Japan takes its 1000cc's very, very seriously. They've got 5 wildcard entrants in for today's race. Let's see how they fared as we look back at the best of the qualification highlights that took place earlier on today. Qualification highlights from the 1000cc's. The wildcards could cause a problem or two for the likes of Zaidi, the championship leader, and Haruki Naguchi, who's just 4 points behind him in the standings. Apiwat and Anupab also looking to make their move as well. We talk of the wildcards, and here's one of them, Rei Tashima. Naguchi, who has got local knowledge as well. He made a big move as well. Naguchi would put in a very, very fast lap time of 1:28.369. This circuit is only 3.62 kilometers. And Naguchi was soon being joined by the likes of Tanimoto. Aslan Shah Kamuzama, who had a nasty incident when his chain snapped yesterday. I was surprised to see him out riding today, but he did, but he struggled. Wasn't able to get any better than 1:29.980, 9:41. That BMW has struggled most of the time. Somebody who hasn't struggled, Daniel Kazmayudim, he'd come through here to take P2 for Yamaha Racing Team Asium with a 1:28.4 lap time. Naguchi was the only man who'd be able to better that. SDG Motor Racing Sports Park Pro team, who's picked up his first win of the season at Sepang last time out. He would post the fastest lap of 1:28.369. That piled the pressure on Juan Zaidi, the championship leader. Juan had to respond, and he left it late to respond. There he goes into the pits. It wasn't looking good. He did eventually manage to get back out, and very, very late in the qualification session, he was able to move himself up into P3. So Juan rescued it late on. But it's Haruki Naguchi, the local, who is the man who will be on pole for the first race of the weekend. And local support for Haruki Naguchi, who's impressed us all in his 4 races so far today. He's had a first, a second, a third, and a fourth. The first coming in the last race out. And some local fans for Haruki Naguchi. And he will be on pole position as well. This is the circuit of the Sugo International Racing Circuit. It's 3.62 kilometers, 14 circuits. What that doesn't show is the elevation levels. It reaches its high point on turns 6 and 7. But the real fun is around 11, 12, 13 and 14, where there's an upward facing chicane, and then you go upwards onto the finishing line. Right, amidst all the chaos down there, I can spy Barry Russell in his yellow shoes, and hopefully he has got 1 or 2 people to be talking to us about.
Thank you, Des. There's a fantastic atmosphere down on the grid for the final race of the day, the ASB1000 race. We're going to talk to the first 3 riders on the grid, and we're going to start with number 1, if we can just get a word in, with the man on pole position, Haruki Naguchi. Haruki, excuse me. You've been very fast all the way through, as we expected. How do you think your race pace will be over 15 laps? Yeah, how do you see your race pace?
I think I don't know this race pace because of before this track has a rain. Also, maybe condition is not so bad, but you feel also windy this condition. Also, sometimes maybe some coming go fast. So we will try to keep the pace like qualifying.
Haruki, good luck in the race. Thank you. And next we're going to talk to the man in second position. Kazma Daniel, you've had an impressive showing here at Sugo Circuit, the first visit by ARRC. How do you see this race going? The conditions are a little bit different. How do you see it?
For the race, for sure we have some difficult moment because Haruki was fast here and Zakuan also coming now. I can expect I can win or lose, but anything we will try for the best result. And I also hoping for get the podium, and I will try my best for sure.
Kazma, thank you and good luck for the race. And last but not least, let's go over here and talk to the championship leader, Zakuan Zaidi. Zakuan, you had a tough weekend last weekend in Suzuka 8 hours. Now you're at Sugo and you found your way around this circuit now. That was a great performance in qualifying. How are you feeling for the race?
Actually, I feel struggle in the practice, the overall, but finally we found something in the qualifying, and sure in the race I must be follow with the front group, and then I try to manage the how can we beat the fast rider, because this is 18 lap, so long lap, so I will try my best.
Yeah, and what do you think of this Sugo circuit?
Yeah, it's the track is very technical. For me, it's quite difficult because I have never tried with this bike, and then yeah, surely we can fight with the front group.
Zakuan, thank you and good luck for the race. And that's it from the grid, so we will go back to you, Des, in the studio, and I will see you in just a few minutes.
Good work again, Barry. Yeah, interesting words from Zakuan. He always gives good interviews, Zakuan Zaidi. He doesn't hide much of what he's worried about. Just get close as you possibly can to the leading group. Rei Tashima, P4. For one team, the Dogfight Racing team racer, looked like he was going to take pole. Rei is a wild card for today, as is Keisuke Mayoda from Team GYTR on the Yamaha, as was Tashima. Looking pretty happy with life is Maeda. Alongside them, Apiwat Wangtanam, the Yamaha tyre racing team, won't be too thrilled to be pushed down to P6. You can see Barry was just fist pumping with Apiwat Wangtanam. Apiwat is third in the overall championship standings and looks pretty serious there, doesn't he? There's no interview with him, but he's looking very, very focused. He and Anupab are normally very, very well matched, but they're split today by Otajiro Tanimoto from Dogfight Racing, the second Dogfight Racing team. That's a wild card once again. It's a team that race in the All Japan Championships, taking the opportunity to mix it with the ARRC boys and girls. And then we have Anupab Samu, bike number 500, Yamaha Tyre Racing, a 129.113 for Anupab. He's in fourth place. His results this season have got steadily worse. A P2, a P3, a P5, a P6. So I'll be hoping to get back close to the podium, but with Haruki Naguchi around and so many very, very good local wildcards, it's going to be difficult. Yuki Ito, Yamaha Gen Blue Racing Team. Yuki in P9, 129.190. His best result of the season, this season, a P9. He's not had the best of fortunes, Yuki Ito. And Shinichi Nakadomi from Hirostech Team Tomi, also on the Yamahas. Not Yamahas today. The BMWs have struggled. We'll have a look at Adam Norridin next. He's on the best of the BMWs for 1XX BMW TKR Racing Team. And he's down in P11, Adam. He hasn't really been able to make a massive impression, although we got P3 last time out. Hasn't made a massive impression. Get well soon, Ibrahim, his brother, who had a crash earlier on today and is in hospital. And then you've got a third wild card, Kosuke Akiyoshi for KW Racing. He's on the Honda CBR 1000. And Gary Salim, he's had a P7, a P8, a P9 and a P10 finish so far this season. So P13 on the qualification isn't overly unexpected. Pasawit on P14 and Aslan Shah Kamruzaman, who's had a really, really tough time of it. On the BMW, he is in P15. Just getting information on who's gone on medium and who's gone on hard. And interestingly, Kazma Daniel has decided to go on a hard medium selection. Kazma in P2 as we look at Aslan Shah Kamruzaman. Aslan Shah's medium. Most of the race has gone for medium, but Kazma's gone for hard medium. Zakwan has gone for soft back tyres. Adam Noradin, hard medium. Let's have a look at the current standing just to give us a feel of what's going on. Zakwan Zaidi is leading the way with 78 points. Haruki Naguchi has got 74. But it's pretty close. A decent result for Apiwata Anupab, and that blows the situation open. Kazma Daniel's in P2 on the grid, so a win for him today, and he could get back into reckoning. Adam Noradin, it'd be tough to see the BMW get up, or Pasawit or Jerry Salim, but they're capable enough of picking up points. But that's how the title looks at the moment. And the complication today is we've got Tanimoto, Nakitomi, Akiyoshi, and Maeda, and Rei Toshima all there as wildcards. No TJ Alberto or Titibong Warakon, no Ducati Panigales, as the Access Plus Racing Okada team not on site for this weekend. Nonetheless, it's a 15-man starting grid. Plenty of talent out there. Zakwan versus Haruki is obviously the one we're most keen to look at. Kazma Daniel more than capable of interjecting into that argument. This is race number 5 of 10 in the season. First of 2 this weekend. Gucci in the white is good still ride, even with the best of them. Here are the 15 starters in grid order. First row, Haruki Naguchi, second in the race for their title, but with 25 points to his name last time out. Kazma Daniel and Zakwan Zaidi completing the first row of the grid. Rei Toshima, Maeda and Apiwat Wangtanan, who looked very serious on the grid, completing the second.
And on the third row, we've got Otojiro Tanimoto, Anupab Samun, Apiwat's teammate, and Yuki Ito.
As you can hear, Barry Russell's back with us. Shinichi Nakatomi alongside Adam Noradin and Kosuke Akiyoshi complete the fourth row of the grid. 2 wildcards in that one.
And row 5, we have Gary Salim in 13th position, then Pasawit Titiwararak, and the injured Aslan Shah Kamruzaman bringing up the rear.
I was going to ask you about Aslan Shah. I mentioned when we saw the highlights and qualification that we were surprised to actually see him out because he took such a whack on his ankle yesterday. Did you have a chance to catch up with him beforehand?
No, I haven't. I haven't seen any other interview with him other than on the official Instagram page.
Okay.
But I think it just shows you the toughness of Aslan Shah.
Craziness, perhaps, but toughness, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's ever experienced being whacked on the inside of your leg by a broken chain. That's something like 200 kilometers an hour.
Yeah, you have to say, and if you're listening at home, boys and girls, there is another reason not to wear flip-flops while you're riding a motorbike.
Safe riding from Barry Russell. Fantastic.
Riding tips, yes.
Dead right, dead right. Okay, so Haruki Naguchi. We've been impressed with him. He has improved race on race on race. You can't go better than P1 though, or can you? Can you absolutely obliterate a world-class field?
It's really difficult to say. There is a question mark that we've been holding over his head about the injury to his left shoulder. It's not that significant. He did refer to the conditions being difficult when we spoke to him on the grid. Let's see what he can do, but Kazma's determined.
Red lights are out. We are underway. What a start from Naguchi. He has flown away from the start line. and he takes a huge lead into the first corner. Gosh, I've seen some good starts, but very few as good as that. We're on board with Kazma Daniel.
Yeah, that was perfect, Des. And yeah, right on with Kazma Daniel, just behind Zakwan Zaidi, who also got away really well. Be good to see Zakwan defending his championship. He will have that in mind because they start this race with Haruki Naguchi just 4 points behind him.
Kazma had another wheelie on the start line. He's making a little bit of a habit of doing that now, Kazma.
Yeah, he's got some time to make up, but well, he's currently in 3rd place. He's going to challenge Zakwan now.
Naguchi is off to an absolute flyer as Kazma has a look on the inside of Zakwan Zaidi. Can't squeeze it through there. Behind them, well, the wildcard guys of Rei Tashima and Kaisuke Maeda are there. How about the Yamahas? How are Apiwat and Anupar getting on? They need decent finishes. There they are. Speak of the devil. Well, there's one of them anyway. Let's have a look at the start once again, Barry, and Kazma Daniel in the middle of the screen.
Yeah, contrasted, didn't it, with Naguchi's start. Somewhat boing, boing, boing. Yeah, popped the wheel up and bounced it down about 4 times. So that won't have helped him off the line. He is in 3rd place, but he's got some time to make up now. And the race leader, the early race leader, Haruki Naguchi, is getting away.
And it was quite some lead. It's nearly a second in the first lap. Behind them, Apiwat has got himself up into P4, so that's okay. Anupar in P5. So I was looking at how serious, in particular, I saw Apiwat Wangtan. I saw you fist pump him, but he didn't smile, which is very unlike him.
No, he wouldn't. But he knows we do that. He's very focused before the race. He won't talk, but he does enjoy the encouragement.
Well, he's there in the group there in P4, 5 and 6. Kazma Daniel is still on the tail of Zakwan Zaidi, and again Kazma has a look on the inside, and this time Kazma is able to hold it, and the 2 Yamahas are closing in behind them. Rei Tashima and Kotsuke Akiyoshi are behind them in 6 and 7, but I like those two. They are like peas in a pod, Anupar and Apiwat. They go together.
Yeah, they are going together, and they've got Zakwan Zaidi in their sights currently.
Who went wide? Was that Zakwan going wide? It was.
Yeah, and Apiwat didn't need a second invitation. He is through into 3rd.
So Apiwat Wangtanan into P3. Zakwan, who he gave you a very good interview beforehand. I've just got to stick close with the leaders, was what he said, but he's not sticking close because Haruki Naguchi has flown into a 2.5 lead after just 2 laps.
Yeah, he's got his work to do. Unless something goes wrong with Naguchi's machine at the front, Zakwan won't finish this race as the championship leader.
Kazma Daniel in P2, 1.5 seconds down. Apiwat 4/10 down on him. Zakwan pretty close, so it's a 4-man train. The best of the wild cards is Kosuke Akiyoshi, because Rei Tashima has lost a place there. There is the impressive lead. There is the impressive sight of Kazma Daniel chasing a distant Haruki Naguchi.
That was almost a discouraging view from the camera there. How do you catch up with that?
Well, there is time left.
There is time. These conditions are, as more than one of those riders said, they are variable. It is pretty windy out there. It's not impossible that you could get a sprinkle of rain again. I felt a drop of rain on my hand as I was talking to Haruki, actually.
I think we've discovered how quickly the rain can come in here, so Haruki Naguchi is deciding he's going to try to beat the weather. He's in P1 at the moment, flies through the chicane in superb style, leads Kazma Daniel up the brow of the hill, up over the top of the hill, and over the start-finish line for the 3rd time. Kazma Daniel ahead of Apiwat Wangtan and Zakwan, Anupar, Akiyoshi, Rei Tashima. Adam Norodin has got him. Adam Norodin dropped down. Yuki Ito and Gary Salem's made some progress. But the BMWs are struggling, and that is one of the wild cards. It's Otojiro. So Otojiro, there's 2 of them actually.
2 of them, yep. 2 wild cards down.
And that will be a stopping, almost certainly going to stop the race. Oh, yellow flag at the very least.
Yeah, the red flag's
yeah,
out.
red flag. Not surprised. There's a rider pinned under one of the bikes there.
That's inconvenient for Kazma because before it all we went to that crash, he was catching. He was starting to make a dent in Haruki Naguchi's lead.
It's two of the wild cards, Otajiro and Shinichi, who came together. Otajiro looked like he was all right, but Shinichi was caught under his bike on the ground, so I'm hoping he's okay. As soon as we can get a report, we'll get it out to the wider public, but we're reliant obviously on information from the ground. So a red flag, 15 laps to go.
It shouldn't take too long to clear that up, provided that there was nothing spilled, and I didn't see anything. Nice day in the mountains for these spectators.
It is. I wouldn't trust just a t-shirt though. I know it's warmish, but the chill can come in very quickly.
Yeah.
We're waiting for information on that incident, a red flag interruption on the first race of the ASB Superbikes 1000cc round in Sugo. We've had rain, we've had a thrilling exhibition in 150s, we had rain in the 250s. It is obviously coming in. It's clearly a potentially hazardous situation.
Yeah, frustrating for the other riders. Well, frustrating for those that were doing well, frustrating for Haruki, frustrating for Kazma too, because Kazma was making an impression. And there's the TVS squad. That's the consultant for the project there on the right, Awarapong, still celebrating his second place and extended championship lead.
So Kazma Daniel maybe going in just to freshen up. Zakon will be, I suspect, the most relieved of all of this break.
Yes, he will. It wasn't going so well from him.
So we are under red flag, an incident involving two of the local racers, Shinichi Nakatomi and Otajiro Tanimoto. For obvious reasons, we're not focusing on the incident itself. As for the racers, well, they just get on with things, and this boy has been top draw.
Yeah, completely focused. He does just enough for the media.
However, interestingly, ice pack on that left shoulder, instantly there once again.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's another rider that will be frustrated at the stoppage. Apiwat, he was showing well. That focus you noticed on the grid, that was serious. We know that those of us that have known it for a while, we know what that means. It means nothing will be left in the garage.
Well, the clearing off the debris, bikes are off, so I mean, relief on that is that they've been able to ferry the riders off to safety.
Yeah, and it seems like there's nothing spilled there. Just a couple of big gouge marks in the asphalt. It's the Honda of Pasawit, Tisiwararak. He hasn't really found his way. He hasn't found the key, I should say, to this circuit yet. He's working. He's putting the work in. Hasn't quite cracked it, I don't think. He qualified towards the back of the grid.
He's had a couple of fifth place finishes in Buriram, but it was a small field there, in which Aslan Shah and TJ Alberto didn't finish.
Yeah, and we're still
waiting an update on the incident. As soon as we hear, we will advise. But the red flag was called because of an incident on the track where one rider was left under his bike, but the bikes have now been cleared. Clearly, there's no way you could race with the track the way it was.
No, especially in that place on the chicane.
We're going to have a restart, and we're going to be down to a 12-lap race. It was originally 18, so the restart will be a 12-lap race. Kazma Daniel will say, let's hope I can start a little bit better next time, or this coming time. He's making a habit of these
Yeah, he is. He's going so well that we perhaps forget that he's new to this class, this superbike class. But he does need to get that start sorted out.
He had a win in Sepang and a P4.
Yeah, the win was widely celebrated. Of course, that was home race. He's a very popular rider. As we look there at the thoughtful Juan.
We're going to be starting with the same grid.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep.
I wouldn't have expected anything else, to be honest. Juan trying to figure it out. I have to say, Des, he looked tired to me. I think Suzuka 8 hours, you do need a few days of R&R to recover from it, but
yes.
That fatigue won't affect his performance. He's far too seasoned, far too professional, and far too protective of his championship lead to fall for that. But there is the happy Haruki.
Even gets people to do his waving for him. It's all focus, it's all what did we do wrong earlier on, what can we do to make amends. We've seen Kazma, we've seen Juan, we've seen a very, very cheerful looking Haruki Naguchi.
Yeah, happy riders usually go fast, don't they, Des? And that's Gary Salim.
Who got off to a poor start, didn't have a good qualification.
No, he needs to take a step in this class now. 5 races into the season. He's getting a lot of support from the team and from his teammate, helping him along there.
So we're on a red flag on the ASB 1000.
We haven't heard yet when pit lane was open, but I'm guessing it's going to be very soon, because they've already decided that the new race will be 12 laps. And remember, the program was already pushed back by the wet race we had in the 250s, which was very, very slow.
How to stop this kid? He really, Haruki Naguchi, he really has. We were impressed with him right the way from day one, how aggressive he was. He was maybe unlucky not to pick up a podium in the first race of the season. And the way he started out today was mighty impressive. Okay, we're at the Sugo International Circuit. It's looking splendid, but the way that the rain came earlier on, I'm looking at the clouds above, but it's pretty good at the moment. In the distance, there's some glorious forests and hills and mountains. We're on a break as we await for the track to be cleared after an incident on lap 4 of the race. That means we're going to be starting with 12 laps to go. And we're still waiting for official confirmation on when the pit lane will be open. But when we do go, it'll be a 12-lap race. Just in the meantime, we're going to go to a commercial break. We'll be back in just a short while. You're watching the Asia Road Racing Championships. Don't go too far away. When we come back, we've got a 12-lap sprint. Welcome back to the Asia Road Racing Championships from Sugo in Japan. We've got a slight break at the moment because a red flag was called on lap 4 of the ASB1000. The pit exit opens at 16:23, which is about 60 seconds away, if my watch is right. And then we will have a 12-lap race when we resume. Barry Russell alongside Des Corkill in the commentary box. And Barry, we've had a little bit of everything today. We've had 5 races. Starts off with the TVS 1 make, in which we had a local winner. We had a fabulous performance in the Underbone 150. The rain affected the AP 250, another local winner with tears on the podium. And then the 600s went largely to plan. This one, well, a red flag, so we've had a little bit of everything today.
Yeah, we have indeed, and a frustrating stop, I think, especially for Kazma, as we just leave pit lane with him. And just looking at the riders in the pits can tell you something. Haruki Naguchi, as we were saying off air, was calm, relaxed, and I'm quite sure in his mind has already won this race. Kazma, though, doesn't believe that. And he actually put in the fastest lap of the race. He did a 1:28 when he was on that, was it the 2nd lap or 3rd lap, and when he started to catch him.
For the likes of Kazma and Juan, who was being swallowed up, and Apiwat and Anupam, this is a second chance, isn't it? Because Haruki Naguchi looked like he was so far clear. It looked like he was going to romp away. But now they've got a second chance to close him in.
Yeah, Kazma was getting the measure of him. We don't know how that would have played out, but we'll have to see. And we'll also have to see whether Kazma can keep the front of his bike down this time.
Yes, yes. It was such a fabulous start last time by Haruki Naguchi. If he can replicate that, it's danger signs for everybody else, because it's down to a 12-lap sprint.
Yeah, and Zaidi was being pushed back, and if you were looking at a real-time championship standings, that would have been that would have not looked very very happy for him.
Yeah, Naguchi would be going to the top of the standings. As it stands, Juan holds a tentative 4-point lead over Haruki Naguchi in the standings, but Naguchi has had a 4th in race 1 of the season, followed by 3rd, followed by 2nd, followed by P1. There is the man of the moment, Haruki Naguchi. He talks a good game, he looks confident, looks the part, starts well, produces results. What's not to love about him?
He is really the complete package as a racer. He's got the speed, he's got the confidence. Quite a lot of swagger about him, actually.
Great word, swagger. So obviously we will be restarting without the 2 who were responsible for the red flag. We haven't had an update on them. Otojiro Tanimoto.
So there will be some gaps on the grid, but the front row remains the same.
Correct. Shinichi Nakatomi was the other racer. My apologies, I was searching for him.
Yeah, so slightly depleted grid. This is the quick start procedure.
So lots of tension.
Yeah. So they'll just come round, they'll stop very briefly and then go again.
Will they practice this? Will the racers practice these scenarios? Will they? I know they're not in the racing, but the mental aspect of it. How do they prepare for something like this?
I think as they get better and better, they focus more and more on psychology, because that is what makes the difference. You know, there are some really talented riders here, but when you look at Haruki with all that talent, and then you look at his confidence, and I'm going to use the word again, swagger that he carries, that's the difference. He knows he can win. Kazma being nice enough to carry the onboard camera for us.
Anupam and Apiwat, of course, they will want to make their statements. Ray Kashima had made a decent start. Ray Toshima, sorry, had made a decent start. That's bike number 67. He's on P4 on the grid. Sugo Maeda as well. So the wild cards make it quite interesting, because Japan, they love their superbikes. They go really in for them. And 5 wild cards coming in, down to 3 for the restart.
Yeah, and they do have real depth in the Japanese championship as well. That's why there's so many riders that here that are capable of really getting amongst it in this international field of ARRC. So a little wiggle at the front there as he goes over the hill for...
That is a spectacular shot, that really is a wonderful shot. Coming up over the hill. So Kazma, let's see if he can get a better start this time.
Yeah, you can see he's running a hard front there and medium rear. Oh, okay, let's take a look. Yeah, okay.
He's one of the few who's doing it.
Yeah, he was experimenting yesterday.
Zakwan soft rear.
Yeah.
Very interesting. Okay, we are under a quick start review. A 12-lap restart. Ooh, somebody's got a problem. There's a yellow flag up there. Still the yellow flags being raised.
What is that for? Now, 3 yellow flags being raised, so waved. So
and the red flag is out once again. Is that because Apiwat, or 27, that's Kazma. Kazma looks okay.
They were looking at Apiwat's bike.
Yeah, there's the problem. Apiwat, Wang Tanan.
Oh.
Into the pit lane. Oh.
Disappointment for him.
Devastating for him.
So we don't know what's wrong with that bike, and we don't know why. Perhaps he couldn't start it. Hopefully it's just a problem starting, and the team will sort it out, and he'll be able to start from pit lane. But that was a blow, because he was really going well in P3 before the red flag came out.
There's another problem. A couple of engineers, everyone's coming out now.
Yeah. So there's
Indeed, they're
something
stopping
leaked
on
from
it.
his bike, yeah.
Ah, okay.
The question is, of course, how far down the track does it go?
Yes.
Oh, that's a big puddle there.
That's the leakage. There's the problem.
But what is it? Is it water? Is it oil? It's not clear. But they will come running in with the absorbent material any second. Frustrating for these riders.
This is when the engineers really earn their corn, when they...
And he's not on the bike, Apiwat. He's having the tyres put back on, shaking his head, and there's a lot of fluid coming out of there. Look.
Yes.
That's bad news. So, Wee getting involved there. Quite a lot of celebrities here. We've seen Taddy Okada, former GP riders, and Yukio Kiyama we saw earlier on. Quite a lot of big names here.
Well, it's frantic stuff out on the grid, though.
Yeah. And the team's coming out to cool the bikes with those blowers.
Okay, more drama. New race will be 10 laps.
That's a huge disappointment for Apiwat. Clearly not going to start.
Especially as it got himself into a decent position in the original race.
Yeah,
for that then to be red flagged and for them to have this situation here.
Yeah, he will be livid. He'll hold it in because he's a big grown-up boy, but he will be absolutely livid. So now we're missing 3 from this grid.
And he'll lose chances of clawing in either Naguchi or Zakwan. In terms of the overall championship standings, it hurts him enormously.
Yeah, he is consistent, Apiwat. But if he can't start, or if he can't finish, It's no good. A frustration there even for Haruki Naguchi. This is the second time he got psyched up and have to turn it all down again. Sitting on the grid, hoping for a quick start. Looks like, what are they bringing out there? 3-minute board?
3-minute board, but you can also see that they're working there, yes, to clear up. It must have been, if it's oil, it's mighty, mighty dangerous. Problems under the bike also.
Well, that's strange.
Suki Akiyoshi.
It gets stranger and stranger.
This is very much worth 10 questions. The real aficionados have a guess what's going on here.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of absorbent tissue. It's being cleared off there. But we don't know what the spillage was. He's still on the grid, so we have to assume that it wasn't oil. And hopefully that was the same for Apiwat. They haven't come out with the absorbent materials, so perhaps it's just a bust radiator pipe or something as prosaic as that.
And they're working to get him back out. Surely not. They're racing against the clock.
Well, they've got a delay working in their favour on the grid, so let's see. Keep those tyres warm.
So formation lap.
I didn't time that stop, but just thinking about tyre warmers.
So we can confirm Apiwat Wangtanan is not allowed to start. Will not be joining in from the pit lane because it's under red flag.
Yeah, that's a sensible decision from race control. It's absolutely gutting for Apiwat and for those of us that wanted to see a good race, but safety first every time.
Well, we'll remember Sugo.
Yeah, it all kicked off on the first day. And we've got another day to go. And boy, we're looking forward to that. Look at that, there's another one of those standing camera shots that's just gorgeous.
Oh, now he was so focused before. Now he just looks so life.
Crestfallen.
Good word.
I knew there was one in there somewhere. Anyway,
The full arc of emotions.
yes, it is indeed. He's gone from yeah, the elation of a good performance yesterday and this morning to total disappointment now.
Well, he's just got to get it out of his system, sort himself out tomorrow. Right, take 3. We had an original red flag incident after a crash on turn 7, I think it was. No, it was on the chicane, wasn't it? On the chicane. And then we had a 12-lap race not started because of a problem for Apiwat. Now we've got a 10-lap race coming.
And they're going to need to be a little bit careful, Des, because they were sitting on the grid for a long time with no tyre warmers. Just a note of caution there.
Red lights. Take 2. We are underway, and another dream start for Haruki Naguchi. Wow, 2 in a row. That is just fabulous. And he dominated the earlier part of the race, and he's straight back into that groove.
And a repeat also from Kazma, who's left himself in a worse position than last time. I think he's 4th or 5th.
This is Kazma. He's behind Anupab, and he's certainly behind Zaidi. I think he's behind one of the wildcards as well.
So he's left himself a lot of work to do over these 10 laps, but let's see how that goes as they all get through the first few turns safely.
But what a fabulous start once again from Haruki Naguchi. This young Japanese really is taking ARRC by storm. He's not leading the championship at the moment. He soon will be if he carries on like this. Bike 75, Keisuke Maeda. He's put himself ahead of Kazma Daniel. Kazma down in P5.
Yeah, Kazma's got a lot of work to do now, whereas he was looking really good. He did clock the fastest lap in that brief stint we had before. Let's see now, Juan.
Yeah, he's not let Haruki get away from him this time, although it will probably be a second or so. This time he's looking a little bit more competitive as they come over the brow of the hill. Let's look at the differential. It is 0.7.
So good getaway there for Juan, and he's only got 10 laps to get through, given the fatigue that he's undoubtedly carrying from Suzuka. Haruki Naguchi was told by his team not to race at Suzuka because they wanted to keep him fresh for this ARRC race. So
you can see how it makes sense. Your comments about Juan, it does ring true. Juan's in there in P2, but under pressure from Anupab.
This will favour Anupab too, because he's carrying an injury of sorts. He's got an arm pump problem in his right arm. And so if this race is 10 rather than 15 laps, that will favour him too.
Anupab putting the pressure on the back of Zaidi. The Yamaha on the back of the Honda. Kazma Daniel's got himself back into P4. So he's beginning to redress some of the problems or some of the issues that resulted from his poor start. Once again, he did an almost wheelie. Haruki Naguchi this time, not completely away. Juan is looking a little bit more at the races. Soft compound tyre for Juan.
At the rear, and that will work well over the shorter race distance too. What was the gap? It was the same.
0.79. It's gone up just... Yeah, no, it's about the same, isn't it? 0.7. So Juan is able to hold on. Lap times 1:29.3 to 1:29.4. Anupab 1:29.3. So Anupab is really turning up the heat. Kazma Daniel lapping quickly as well. He's just posted a 1:29.4.
Yeah, Anupab looks like he's seen an opportunity here. He's the remaining Thai Yamaha. They're a strong team, very tight-knit. And so he'll probably be feeling this responsibility. He knows he's only got a short distance, so hopefully that problem with his right arm won't bother him. Meanwhile, Kazma Daniel.
There's a lot of work to do, though. It is a sprint. These are the 1000cc. They lap this 3.6 kilometer circuit very, very quickly.
And the other factor here, of course, is that now Anupab is bothering Juan in P2. That could give Haruki Naguchi the time to stretch it, the chance to stretch his lead.
Which looks almost exactly what he is doing. You can see the two bikes from the early incident parked by the chicane. It was 0.7 at the end of lap 1, 0.74 at the end of lap 2, at the end of lap 3, 1.0. Wow, a wonderful performance this weekend from Haruki Naguchi.
Yeah, isn't it? But Juan hasn't given up. Anupab hasn't given up. They're not holding each other, slowing each other down at the moment, I don't think.
And Kazma Daniel is managing to get a little bit closer. He's getting on the back of Anupab. All the while that is going on behind them. Not that they're exactly racing, but Haruki Naguchi is indeed extending his lead. Further down, Pasowit is having a problem. He's down in P12. Aslan Shah's overtaken him. Gary Salim is up to P7. Adam Noradin is up to P6. So the BMW might pick up some bonus points today.
Yeah, that's good to see.
Juan working hard to withstand the pressure from number 500, Anupab.
Yeah, but the man at the front is in a world of his own at the moment.
He is. Everyone else is relying on him making a mistake, and he just hasn't looked as though he's going to flinging the bike around. Big bikes, these. That shoulder injury that we've spoken about, that might come into play later on.
Could do, but that injury, along with Zakwan's fatigue and Anupam's injury, that might not be such a factor in this shortened race. And those are the injuries they're carrying that we know about, because of course they don't show a whole lot of pain, these guys.
Kazma Daniel still trying to get on the back of Anupam. He has closed though completely up to the back of them, so it's now a three-way battle for P2 as they come up the hill. That little shift left, shift right. Round the corner onto the long back straight.
Yeah, another 3/10 stretched out by Haruki Naguchi on that previous lap, as Anupam takes a look up the inside, and yeah, that's three-bike contest now for P2, and that is sure to play into the hands of the race leader.
Indeed, for Zakwan, he's probably looking at a P2. Forget about P1 now, unless there's a big mistake. To protect as many points as he possibly can get. He's had two P2s already this season, plus a win and a P4. If I recall, one was in a similar situation where we were expecting him to lose his P2 last time out at Sepang, but he was able to cling on and hold on. But he is under immense pressure. Kazma in the Yamaha, on the tail of the Yamaha of Anupam Samun, Yamaha Time Racing. The gap between 1 and 2 is nearly 2 seconds now. The gap between 2 and 4 is, well, razor sharp. Kazma, Yamaha Gem Blue Racing Team ASEAN, P4. Behind them, we've got Kazuki Maeda, Rei Tashima, Gary Salem, Yuki Ito.
Aslan Shah, as expected, some way adrift, but at least he's out there and he will pick up some points.
And he's lapping reasonably, 1:33, he's a second slower than the race leader, Haruki Naguchi.
Yeah, it's good for him to be getting some laps in, especially some race laps. There's his teammate coming into shot now, Adam Noureddin, in, where is he now? Oh, he's out. Oh, so that was Aslan. Adam Noureddin has crashed out. We didn't see that. So there is one BMW left.
Okay, the lead though for Haruki Naguchi is extended in this three-way battle between Zakwan, Anupam and Kazma Daniel. Oh, there's Adam Noureddin, who crashed out. Oh, it doesn't look good for the legs, does it?
No, that's another leg injury for another 1XOX BMW rider. That's really looks really nasty.
What a great day for the Noureddin brothers. Our thoughts go with them.
Yeah, this is racing, and how far back are we to Kazuki? So I think he might have his eyes on this battle.
1 second. So there he is, just coming into the shot now, Kazuki, P5. But that 1 second is closing. In the meantime, Haruki Naguchi has extended his lead to 2.5 seconds. 4 laps to go. We're over halfway of the restarted race.
So Zakwan holding on. He's looking, with these two riders behind him, a little bit like a cork in a bottle.
But he has been able to hold on. Nobody's really made a move on him at any stage. He hasn't had to defend. He's just been clean. Those soft compound tyres, though, that rear tyre. What's the degradation like? 10 laps, you'd hope it'd hold on. I'm certainly hoping it'd hold on for 15 laps.
Yeah.
Needs a P2, needs some points.
Yeah, and he hasn't really been torturing that bike. He's playing it pretty clever, Zakwan.
Naguchi leads, 3 laps to go for him. Zakwan, Anupam, Kazma, as it has been for the last 4 laps. 2, 3, 4, Kazma has a look on the inside of Anupam Samun. Yamaha and Yamaha, Kazma Daniel, P2 in terms of qualification. He won't be too chuffed if he comes out of the top 2. You work so hard in qualification to give yourself a chance, and his poor starts have twice cost him.
Yeah, they have. Yeah, last time in Sepang after that race win, race 2, poor start. Didn't really get a look in, but and finished 4th, which is where he is at the moment. But I think the order is going to change in this group as we get into the final stages of this shortened race.
These three have pulled away from Keisuke as Anupam looks on the inside once again. Zakwan holds his nerve, holds his line. Again, Anupam tries to accelerate through. Again, Zakwan, that's my line. I've got the racing line. You've got to go either inside or outside of me. That seems to be the message.
Yeah, and Kazma trying to sweep in wide and come out fast, but that didn't work. Let's look at the lines they take through the chicane.
Through the chicane, nice and tight from Zakwan. And accelerating up the hill. With the underbone to get a bit of a toe. It doesn't quite seem to be the case here, although he is close enough on the back to maybe make a move. There is Anupam Samu, front wheel up in the air, but Zakwan able to hold on. Gosh, they're big beasts, these 1000s.
Yeah, and these riders are really going for it now. All three of them have got a lot to gain.
2 laps to go. Well, 1.5 laps to go for the race leader, Haruki Naguchi. We've hardly watched him because he's been so far out in front. He's not even in the shot. He's disappeared through the next corner.
Yeah, he's more than 3 seconds away, so we probably wouldn't even see him if we looked up the back straight.
Oh, there he is.
Thank you.
And there's the race behind him. Trying to join in off the back of that is Keisuke Mayuda, probably not able to get there, and that looks a little bit better for Zakwan. It looks like he's been able to just ease a little bit of space, unless Anupam's just saving it all up for the last lap.
And Kazma is through.
Indeed.
So he's on Zakwan's tail now, so for all his pressure and aggression, Anupam didn't make it and got himself overtaken, and he's just dropping back a little bit.
Kazma tries to go around the outside, looks for a different angle up the chicane. This is the penultimate time. It's the last chance, the only chance for Kazma Daniel to have a rehearsal. Anupam in P4 under pressure from Maeda. They zip up the hill once again. This time onto the last lap. Our race leader is already through. Zakwan Zaidi and Kazma Daniel. Malaysians both, but highly competitive. Anupam Samu behind them.
We often see Anupam sitting behind riders in the late stages, waiting to snap up any little morsels that come his way. But I think he'd really like to be in front of this group.
Zakwan, a little hint of an error, but he's managed to hold on to that. Kazma putting him under fearsome pressure. Zakwan is a cool customer. Just does he have the power? Is the back tyre going to hold out? Okay, so here is the race leader, Haruki Naguchi, but Zakwan is able to hold on. Kazma Daniel needs to make a move now, or he's going to miss his opportunity. Zakwan again, another tight little line. Fascinating battle. Zakwan has been under pressure for nearly all 10 of these laps, but he's still been able to hold on to P2. And now they're coming into the chicane for the final time. Zakwan holds on, Kazma is there. This will be the big moment. Zakwan accelerates up the hill. Has Kazma Daniel got the opportunity? Kazma is looking for a drag. There's the race winner. Naguchi wins it. Behind them, up over the brow of the hill, Zakwan brilliantly holds on against Kazma Daniel. Naguchi was in a league of his own, but the bravery of Zakwan to hold off Kazma and Anupam really is noteworthy, Barry Russell.
That's why Zakwan has collected so many championships in his career. It's easy to forget that he's still in his I think he's in his mid-20s, maybe
Indeed.
26, 27.
Yeah.
A lot of experience, a lot of championships under his belt, and that is the kind of mental strength that he demonstrated then that has got him those championships. Haruki Naguchi, what a fantastic job by him. He's just having a look around. Does anybody want to congratulate me? Yes?
Absolutely, he did a brilliant job.
And Zakwan is going to be pleased with that. He has lost the championship lead.
But only by a point. This is going right the way down to the final race of the season, I feel. Hope so.
Yeah, we do hope so. And there could be some more players coming through too, but it definitely looks like these two. Kazma didn't make it, but he did make the podium. And he could have done better, perhaps, if he had got his start under control. So that's work in progress. And there is the man who finished the wild card, best finisher, Kisuki. He's going to be happy with that, waving to the handful of home fans that have turned out to watch. There goes Haruki. Anupab just cruising past him. No fist bump there. I wouldn't read anything into that.
Well, they've made the trek out to the Sugo Sportsland, and I think they've been rewarded with some excellent racing, some excellent Japanese racing, definitely. Haruki Naguchi, as Ray Russell says, with this victory will take the championship lead, and he's won it by close to 4 seconds over Zakwan Zaidi, who's won it by less than 1/10 of a second over Kazma Daniel. But he really held on grimly, did Zakwan. Kazma in P3, Anupab frustrating 4 for him, Katsuki Maeda, Rei Toshima in 5 and 6, and Yuki Ito in 7. Gary Salem completing in lane 8. Hasan Shah Kamuzarman, the BMW, P9 is as good as he can possibly hope for. Pasowitz, Kosuke Akiyoshi, Adam Norodin, we do hope he's okay. We'll give you an update as soon as we can. Apiwat out, Tanimoto and Nakatomi crash, causing the red flag. Highlights of the ASB 1000 restarted race. Fabulous start from Haruki Naguchi. Kazma Daniel was left in P3, and then he got himself up into P2. This is the original race, which was meant to be an 18-lap race, and Kazma Daniel really made some good progress in that situation. Zakwan was struggling, but Naguchi, his flying start meant that he was in really, really good nick before there was a red flag that would cause the race to be stopped. Naguchi absolutely flying away. You can see Anupab Sarmoon, and then a double crash. It saw 2 of the local racers involved, so a red flag produced a restart originally for 12 laps, and then a problem for Apiwat Wangtanam. That meant a further delay, and eventually we were down to a 10-lap sprint. And the start once again from Haruki Naguchi meant that there really was no doubt that he was going to win this. It was all a case of who was going to come second, and Zakwan Zaidi was under such pressure, first from Anupab Sarmoon and then from Kazma Daniel. But the Malaysian really was able to hold on. He just kept his line as true as he possibly could. He'd taken a gamble by using a soft compound rear tyre. That's the only time he really looked to be under any pressure, but he really focused on getting into the corner first, looking and protecting the correct racing line. So if anyone was going to get the better of him, they were going to have to really take a gamble. Anupab, with 2 laps to go, would eventually lose that P2 to Kazma Daniel. Kazma goes through there as Anupab went just a little bit wide. Haruki Naguchi was way clear at this stage. Zakwan was able to hold on for P2, and Kazma was waiting for a gamble. But going over the line, Naguchi nearly 4 seconds clear of Zakwan, who flies through ahead of Kazma into P2. But there is your race winner, back-to-back race wins for Haruki Naguchi, and also the new championship leader. And straight onto the podium, where Haruki Naguchi will once again be the recipient of the Japanese national anthem. Satoshi Matsunaga, the general manager of Motorcycle Tire Department, and Sumitomo Rubber is the man handing out the awards, along with Stefan Carapier.
I'd like to call the three riders.
The FIM Asia president.
To the podium, please. Beginning with the rider in third place. Kazma Daniel, Kazmayuddin.
And the 3-2-1 sees Kazma Daniel on the podium once again. He doesn't look too thrilled to be there, more resigned. It was a good performance. It's his second podium. He had a race win in Sepang and now a P3. Zakwan worked terrifically hard to hold on to P2. But there is your race winner and new championship leader, Haruki Naguchi. Second win in a row. And clearly so full of confidence.
Now please stand for the national anthem of the winning rider's country.
それではご起立いただきまして、優勝ライダーの母国の国歌をお聴きいただきます。
And now we'll present trophies and a helmet to each of the riders. The presenter for this is Mr. Satoshi Matsunaga, the General Manager of Motorcycle Department for Sumitomo Rubber Industries Limited.
では、観戦するトロフィーとヘルメットが贈られます。プレゼンターは住友本工業
To the third place finisher, Kazma Daniel Kazmayuddin.
ジェネラルマネージャー松永聡様です。まずはカスマダニエル・カスマユディ選手に贈られます。
Kazma Daniel, a little bit more experienced on where the cameras are.
Next to the second place rider, Zaidi.
Zakwan Zaidi really deserves credit. He was able to hold on under real pressure, first from Anupam and then from Kazma.
Our winner, ASB1000, race 1. Haruki Naguchi.
But it was a comprehensive victory. His fast starts are very much becoming a feature of Haruki Naguchi, putting him in advantageous positions from the very start. Fastest on pole, first away in both the 18-lap race and the restarted 10-lap race.
I told you I'd see you, so you will be up here. Very nice.
Team award to SDG Motorsports Hot Pro. Confirmation result of the ASB1000. Race 1 of 2 of the weekend. In third place, Kazma Daniel Kazmayuddin from Yamaha Gem Blue. Zakwan Zaidi from Honda Asia Dream Racing. And your winner, Haruki Naguchi for the SDG Motorsports Hot Pro team. And that just about wraps up a day that's been punctuated by rain and red flags. Championship standings, Naguchi leads Zakwan by a point. He's 18 clear of Anupam Samoon. Apiwat 5 points down on him. Kazma Daniel moves up to within a point of Apiwat in P5. Adam Noridin, our thoughts with him. I hope he's okay. We'll have an update as soon as we can. He's on 44 points. Passer with 42. Gary Salim from Indonesia on 38. And so we end our transmission for the day. We are back at this beautifully appointed arena in Sugo. We are in the northeast of Japan, in the Miyagi Prefecture. It is the first time the ARRC has been to the Sugo International Racing Circuit. It really has done us a fine job on race day number 1. We'll join you tomorrow around about the same time. For now, though, I'm Des Corkill on behalf of the whole team, including Barry Russell and the producers and directors behind the scenes. Wishing you bon voyage. We'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. This